Hi everybody, I'm Rebecca Virginia, and in today's video I'll be showing you brand new Valentine's Day DIYs with a sugary sweet twist. First up, I'm going to show you how to make these marshmallows. Yes, they are faux marshmallows, so although they look delicious, they are not going to taste delicious, but I'll show you exactly how to make them. The great thing about these is you don't have to worry about them going stale because they're just decor. Starting off, I grabbed some of this Crayola Model Magic. I know that the Dollar Tree also sells some clay, but I had really great luck with this clay when I made my little ghosts for Halloween. So since I had a lot of great luck with it, I decided if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I wanted to use it again for these marshmallows. I also made snowman marshmallows for Christmas. I'll insert the ghosts and the snowmen so you can see, but I'm having a lot of fun. I did one Christmas video where I did faux sweets, so I wanted to kind of do that again in this video. And all that I'm doing to make the marshmallows is just kind of rolling them into a ball and then flattening them up at the top. I used about 3/4 of the little pack of clay, and then with that extra fourth of clay that I had left over, I made some smaller marshmallows, making them the exact same way, starting off by just rolling them into a ball and then kind of making them more into an oval shape before patting down the top to make it form a marshmallow. These are really easy to do, easier than the ghosts were. Again, you're just kind of making a cylinder marshmallow shape by rolling it around and then flattening it at the top and at the bottom. Once I had formed all of my marshmallows out of the clay, I left them to air dry for 24 hours before moving on to this next step. I'm using the bamboo skewers that can be found in the cooking section of the Dollar Tree, and I just skewered the marshmallows from the bottom, and I did this to all 5 of them, and then I moved on. I didn't mind the natural wood, but I wanted this to be a little bit brighter of a DIY, so I did end up taking some Waverly white chalk paint and just painting the bamboo skewers. Looking back, I probably should have painted them and then skewered the faux marshmallows, but either way, it worked out, so I might have just made it a little bit harder on myself. But yeah, I would recommend go ahead and paint the skewers before you actually put the marshmallows on. Now is the really fun part. This is creating that faux drippy icing on top of the marshmallows, and I did this with hot glue, and then later on I will paint. You could buy colored glue sticks and then you wouldn't have to paint them. I didn't really want to purchase them. I couldn't find any in my Walmart or a Dollar Tree, so I'd have to buy them on Amazon. They were a little expensive, so I just decided to go with plain old glue and then paint. It's really easy. You just glob a bunch of glue up at the top of the marshmallow, and it naturally drips down a lot, and I did kind of stamp the skewer onto my desk that I was working on to create more of those drippies. Then once those were dry, I went in with 2 colors, a light pink and a darker pink, and I let the first coat dry before going in with a second coat. I did not let the second coat dry. While it was still wet, I went in with these sprinkles. I did find these on Amazon. They're a little bit expensive, and I actually saw in Target for $3 really cute different Valentine's Day sprinkles. So if you live near a Target, I would really recommend that. I do love these sprinkles, and I'll use them in lots of DIYs so I could justify it, but they were a little pricey. I'll leave them linked down below. Sometimes they go on sale. And I am just sprinkling on the sprinkles all over our paint. I did also put the tiniest bit of matte Mod Podge into the paint before I painted the second coat on. I'm not sure if it was needed, but I did find that the sprinkles adhered really nicely, and it might have been because I added that Mod Podge. In keeping with our marshmallow theme, next up, I'm going to be making some faux s'mores with these really adorable faces on them. I've seen similar DIYs and crafts going around TikTok, so I had to try my hand at it using some Dollar Tree items. I took the large foam dice, they're usually orange or green from Dollar Tree, and I just coated them in a white chalk paint so that you wouldn't be able to see any of that color showing through, and we would have the nice white of a marshmallow. Then I am going to be creating the graham cracker, and to do this I went back to the Crayola white clay and I rolled some out, and then I placed the dice on top of it once I had rolled it out and used my X-Acto knife to cut out the square shape. I didn't have any square cookie cutters. That would have been really handy to have, but instead I am just cutting it a little bit larger than the width of the dice. That way it will be able to kind of hover over the top of it and really look like the graham cracker. I also just cinched in all the edges, and I'm kind of just molding it and shaping it so it has a little bit more of that graham cracker shape. I then went in with the same X-Acto knife tool that I used before and made the lines that are on a actual graham cracker, and then took my little bamboo skewer that I used in the previous marshmallow DIY to put those 5 holes in the clay, so again that it would mimic the look of an actual graham cracker. So one I have already done, and then the next one I am painting, again, to give it that graham cracker look. I combined the colors of Apple Barrel, Khaki, and Burnt Umber, using mostly khaki and just a tiny bit of the darker burnt umber shade of brown, and that seemed to give me a really good color to give off the look of an actual graham cracker. Next, I am creating the dripping chocolate and the faces on my marshmallows. The faces and the dripping chocolate I created on my own in Design Space, and I used my Cricut to cut it out of vinyl. But especially for the drippy chocolate and the faces, you could just use paint or even a thick marker. That would work too. So you definitely don't have to have a Cricut or use vinyl for this. So I first heard about this kind of style of crafting or decorating. It's called kawaii, which means cute in Japanese. And they are just, I mean, it makes it perfect sense. Kawaii, it is very cute, these cute little smiling marshmallow faces. So again, I just used this with vinyl, so I'm adhering that on to the actual dice that I've already painted. So for the first marshmallow, I'm going to be hot gluing down the faux graham crackers, but for the second one, I wanted to leave plain, so the burnt umber color by Apple Barrel that I had used previously worked absolutely perfectly as that dark chocolate on top. So I went ahead and painted that one, and then for the one with the graham cracker, I just added a little bit of hot glue to adhere the top down, but you don't even really have to use hot glue if you ever want to reuse the graham cracker. It's been a while since I did a faux whip topper for a mug on my channel. I think about 2 years to be exact, when I did it for a Christmas video. I have used the spackling from the Dollar Tree in a couple Christmas DIYs, but never as the faux whip topper. So I thought it was about time that I tried my hand at it again. The spackling from Dollar Tree can get a little messy, but hopefully you will learn from my mistakes and have a mostly mess-free time crafting. I grabbed a mug from the Dollar Tree. Look, I already made a mess. But I took a mug from the Dollar Tree, and then I cut out a piece of cardboard so that would be able to fit on top of the mug. Then, super easy, I grabbed the cake decorating bags and tips from the Dollar Tree and popped my spackle, also from the Dollar Tree, into the bag. A little tip, I like to add a little bit of water and a little bit of white paint. I think the perfect consistency for the spackle to make the faux whip topper is for it to look like a Wendy's Frosty. Once I went all the way around my cardboard and up, I added those really pretty sprinkles that I got from Amazon all over the topper. And also I took a cardboard straw and I cut it to fit the faux whip and stuck that in there as well. The final touch for this DIY was kind of jazzing up that Dollar Tree mug. So using my vinyl, I put love on the front of it. And then I used some hot glue to adhere the topper down onto the mug, but it fit perfectly on the mug, so if you don't want to hot glue it down, you can just place it on top. That way you can actually use the mug to drink out of, or use the faux topper for maybe a different DIY. I was really making myself hungry with all of these different faux food DIYs, but luckily I could stick to my New Year's resolution because these are just fake food for decor, not actual desserts. So next up, I'm going to show you how to transform the wood hearts from Dollar Tree into some delicious looking heart-shaped cookies. To transform the wood hearts into cookies, I grabbed a butter knife and the Dollar Tree spackling. I applied the spackling all over the wood heart, the top and the sides using the knife. I liked this because it gave some texture and indentations into our what will soon be heart cookie, so it really did look like you iced it with a knife. So I also went in with some paint, a light pink and a darker paint. I added a tiny bit of Mod Podge to the paint. I thought it gave it a nice thick texture and dried really nicely. Again, by using that butter knife, it left some of the knife strokes in, which I think usually happens on regular cookies. So that's why I liked adhering it with a knife rather than with a paintbrush. For embellishments, I added some of the fun Valentine's Day sprinkles on the light pink cookie, and then on the dark pink, I had a little bit of spackling left, so I wanted to use it up. I put it back in the piping bag from the Dollar Tree and just made little dots all the way around the cookie and some zigzags in the middle. Next, we're moving away from the food DIYs for just a little bit and dipping back into those traditional Valentine's Day crafts. I made this heart cone using a bunch of scrap papers that I had around my craft room. So this is a great project if you're looking to utilize some of those items that you have sitting in the back of drawers. In an Amazon package that I got recently, it came with this thick packing paper, almost like a thinner version of cardboard. So I had it in my craft room, not really sure what I was going to use for it, and I decided that it would make the perfect base cone for this DIY. It was nice and thick, so I knew it would keep its shape and not be falling over all the time, even though you did just see me drop it there. But all that I did was roll it into a cone shape and then use some tape. We're going to be going over everything in the different colored hearts, so I just added some clear duct tape to adhere the cone together, but if you're worried about that, you can always just hot glue it instead. And then super easy, I had all these bits of scrap paper, so I cut them all out into different hearts. I have white hearts, red hearts, this darker pink, and then a light pink. And it's super easy. I'm using hot glue, but if you wanted to do this with kids, you could use a glue stick too. And I'm creating an ombre colored tree, starting dark with the red at the bottom and finishing light and white at the top. Dollar Tree always carries lots of fun and festive items for Valentine's Day. I saw these glittery red hearts and didn't really know what I was going to do with them, but I picked them up and I'm glad that I did because the glittery red heart made the perfect topper for my ombre tree. I think it would have been really pretty without it, but it just added a little something extra. I also placed it on top of a clear candlestick stand, also from the Dollar Tree, to give it some height. After I had made the first cone, I had one little styrofoam, it was actually a styrofoam tree from Hobby Lobby that I got during Christmas time that I hadn't used, so I wanted to make a little tree to go with my larger cone tree. So I am starting off with the styrofoam cone, and I wanted to place a heart in the top of it, so I used my bamboo skewer to just kind of create that hole. And the heart that is on the top of it is one of the wood hearts that came in a large pack from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm just going all the way around with some of this chenille yarn. It's like a fuzzier yarn. It's not regular yarn. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's just like a lot fluffier and fuzzier. And I thought it was perfect for Valentine's Day. After I covered the entire small tree with it, I added another wood heart to the back so it wouldn't be unfinished in the back. And then grabbed some of these little red pom-poms that I got off of some Christmas ribbon from Dollar Tree and just hot glued those onto the front and back of our heart cone. Lastly, I wanted to let you all know that I have this new Valentine's Day bottle up in my Etsy shop currently. The Santa milk bottles were such a hit, so I wanted to make something for Valentine's Day too. You could use it as decor, maybe put in a rolled up note and have a message in a bottle decor, or use it like me and put in your favorite pink drink. I'll have a link down below to this item as well as a link to my entire Etsy shop. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, keep searching, keep creating.